joke, ain't he? What's going on? When the ball comes vaguely near Estêvão, the fans cheer. What? That don't happen. He's one of the most exciting players in the league, in fact, in the world to watch right now. At 18 years old, what are we seeing? And surely that's a reason to play him more. Firstly, he should be playing more, surely. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but he's just better than the wingers they've got. As simple as that, right? And the hunger, the desire he so clearly has at 18 years old comes on today, instant impact. In most games I watch Chelsea, he's like one of the best players. Like, easily. The confidence he has to kind of go against the grain, against the structure of the team, and just go and do things by himself. That don't happen in the Premier League right now. That's what the league is lacking. These Njais, these Estevãos, so confident, like, in their own ability, dribbling. But surely, again, you play him for his ability. He's one of the best players, and he's not playing. But you play him for the atmosphere that he...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to Killing the Game. Like, share, subscribe. Please hit the hype button. An amazing day of Premier League football to review. An amazing day. There's no doubt. And I wanted to start with Chelsea, who had, of the top 6 teams that we primarily cover on the Football Terrace, they had the best day. There's no doubt about it. Fantastic last night. I had a family engagement, so I wasn't able to do the full fan highlight show. Thank you to KJ and the team that handled that. But we did have the Chelsea game on where I was, and I thought they were excellent. Yes, the first half they didn't score. Yes, the first half they didn't capitalize on their dominance. But it felt more of a when than an if they were going to score. And I agree with the large amounts that's being said here by the gentleman when it comes to Estevão. I think he is a fantastic talent, right? And there's no like. Sorry, I don't know why that played again. An absolutely fantastic talent. I think he should start more. Every week, no, not at 18 years of age in a physical league like the Premier League. I think there's such a history of players that burst through at 16, 17, 18, being overused when they're young, getting into their 20s and having major injury problems or fading late on in their career. I think it's very important to bleed him in correctly. This was exactly the kind of game where he should be on the bench. You're playing the worst team in the league. You've got Neto, you've got Garnacho, who, by the way, themselves were amazing. But Estevão, he's fantastic. He's one of those Maverick-esque players who comes on and does things that are different. He gets you on the edge of your seat. And well, one thing I will say, I don't think the league lacks that overly. And what I mean by that is Dorgu does. Estevão does it, yes. Okay. But I think Dorgu does that as an example. We know Bukayo Saka does it. Cole Palmer does it. And Jai that you mentioned does it. Mbumo for Man United does it. Ahmad for Man United does it. Kudos does it. Now, I think what we have with Estevão, and Chelsea fans, please don't think I'm playing him down, is that it is a bit of a shiny new toy where everyone goes, oh, I'm excited to watch him play. In a few years' time, we'll still love watching him play because he's going to have these talents, but it won't have the same novelty to it. But overall, he was brilliant when he came on. Garnacho was amazing. João Pedro scoring. Chelsea going second in the league. And I've been critical of Chelsea sometimes this season, but I will say this. I said they'd be in a title. I thought they'd be within a handful of points of the league leaders for large parts of the season. And for all their problems so far this campaign, they're there or thereabouts on points. There's a consistency element. And there's some games where you think, oh, it wasn't there. Karabag as an example, just wasn't quite there. The Sunderland game wasn't quite there. But they are still a very good work in progress. And as players like Estevão develop, they're going to be a very, very dangerous team indeed.
Goal. Fucking hell. Get out. Absolutely knew it. Breakdown in the midfield again. More holes than a bloody pot. Bloody crumpet. Bruno's bloody throwing his hands around like an octopus again. That is the problem. This is just so bloody frustrating. Second half's been crap again. It's been crap. I'm sorry. I agree with Marlowe. Second half has been crap. Defence has been holding on. Lamens has made 2 big saves. Just crap. Oh, no!
I know it's my team, but Mark makes me die.
No! I can't believe it! What the bloody hell? What's going on there?
Where's he gone?
Why are we losing to Spurs?
Come back, Mark.
Why are we losing to bloody Spurs?
Why can't we see you?
idiots!
Stand up!
Idiots!
Stand up!
Absolute idiots!
Stand up!
I can't believe it!
Is he on the floor?
No bloody midfield again. That's what this is all about. He's crying. Richarlison's crying. We're not that good.
You're crying. We're not that good.
What are you crying for? You've just won 3 points. Bloody running around like you've won the Champions League. Oh, not him. Nothing has changed.
Do you know what I find hilarious? I find it very cathartic watching Man United fans and the meltdowns when we lose games, because it makes me laugh, right? It makes me feel better. And look, on the United's game, I said a lot yesterday, and everyone, this is what I like about the match reviews. Everybody sees it different. Me and Staffy obviously went at it. What I find very interesting is the system. It's the system versus player blame. And what I sort of notice is, as a typical rule, if there's a part of the system you hate, you heavily focus on that when we lose a game. If there's players you don't rate, like at the moment, a lot of people are not liking Šeško. I saw so many threads yesterday. Šeško is the reason we didn't win, or the midfield was the reason we didn't win. And at the same time, I read that and I think, well, what they did for their goal, Tottenham, they didn't do for the majority of the game. Like, in terms of, they weren't, the midfield actually was holding up quite well at times. Ugarte made a big mistake and we got punished for it, as an example. The second goal, similar, not really clearing our lines, a little bit scrappy. But what I won't do, let's have a go at Ugarte. Let's do it. It's fair, okay? But let's have a go at Šeško if you think he should have scored one of the, they weren't even, well, the second one was a good chance. And the people keep saying he should have shot straight away. No, he had to take a touch. It was brilliant defending. But let's just blame him for that. And let's blame Ugarte, absolutely. But the same people I see in this community here blaming those 2 players for being crap are the same people that had to go at me for blaming other players throughout the course of the game, Cunha, as an example, Bruno, as an example, for having terrible games in possession. That was the system that made them bad. And I agree that Bruno would do better in a 10 than in the central midfield role that he's got. I don't disagree with that. But that still doesn't excuse him from the real massive, basic, fundamental errors that he was making. And that's the part that I won't ever step away from. And not every day do you have to bleat on about the same thing. Repetitive. I've had a go at the system many times this year. I've had a go at substitutions many times this year. But what stood out to me yesterday in the individual game was the individual errors. Ugarte and Šeško, yes. But for me, they both made mistakes in small parts of the game where I saw other players for 80, 90 minutes they were on the pitch consistently mess up. And yet some people are saying that's the system. For me personally, I think it stinks a little bit.
Handing out Class A and alcohol with this Spurs season ticket, because supporting this team is taking years off my life, fam. This is an absolute roller coaster, and I ain't been on a roller coaster since I learned how to build. Fam, I can't take it. Let's be honest, neither team was great. The first half of football was arse. It was a twerk-off contest for Neil Patrick Harris and Michael Barrymore, fam. They had options. Man United were poor, and Spurs, we weren't great. At this point, both teams should allow us to buy our tickets with food stamps, if that's what we're watching. We needed to win today, but when I saw the lineup, brother, it's like me trying to do a live stream from Yemen. We were set up to fail, fam. I know we got injuries. We always got injuries. It's like when you sign to Spurs, you're part-time sparring with Francis Ngannou, fam. Honestly, we got no luck. We got no love. Like Eminem and Lil Wayne, fam. I'm not delusional. We lost 22 games last season. We were getting touched home and away. Premier League keyboard. We were victims. But this season, we're undefeated in the Champions League, in the top 4, and we didn't do nothing in the transfer window, fam. We went into that transfer window with universal credit dealings, fam. Yes, you have to give Frank credit, but at the same time, the football needs to improve, and so do the decisions. Our home is supposed to be a fortress, but it's like a bando, man.
The thing is, listen, I get exactly where X is coming from. But do you know what you saw yesterday? And both squads need so much more quality being put into them. There's question marks, massive ones over Ruben Amorim. Some people have made their minds up, nowhere near good enough. And there's a big part of me that believes that as well. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend any of it. Thomas Frank, I rate him. I think that there's a lot more to come from him personally. And the jury's still well and truly out for me. But what we are witnessing as well, and obviously Staffy and I went at this yesterday, and I'm going to wait till next Friday to cook Staffy for something he did yesterday evening, who said that there was 0 issues with Man United from a mentality perspective. I think that's false. I think both Spurs and Man United suffer with a mentality problem. Spurs right now at home, there's something about it. And Thomas Frank's job is to help make it better. So I don't blame Thomas Frank for the home form being bad because it's been bad. His job is to improve it, though. The same as I look at Ruben Amorim. He joined and we hadn't won back-to-back games in about 9 to 10 months, right? Yes, he didn't allow us to do that for 11 months into the job. And he'll be criticized for not improving us. But he wasn't the reason we were at that level. That level already existed before he arrived. Part of that is mentality. You can judge the manager for the mentality not improving, but you have to then look at the bigger picture. And both Spurs and Man United have been suffering for a long time. And United going away from home, there is a mentality issue. And the crazy bit is we actually concede goals. In the last 3 Man United away games, we concede a goal to either teams go level with us, like at Liverpool, or to go behind Forest and Spurs. And then you see an improvement in our approach to the game. But yet when we're leading, it's like we shake like a shitting dog. And I think that, again, that's why we can look at systems and individual players being poor on both teams, by the way, but you look at the sort of tentative nature. Spurs grew into the game, got themselves back into it. As soon as they went 2-1 up with a minute to go, they turned into what Man United had been for the previous 20, 30, 40 minutes. Oh, they sit back. Let's try and hold on to this. Oh, my God, we're there. We're nearly there. We're going to panic. Players crying on the pitch. That was a big for me. Players crying on the pitch, I think, was absolutely crazy. That's a mentality situation. Yes, it was a winner in an important game to put you second in the league, but it wasn't a Champions League final. It wasn't, you got the second goal, your second goal of the game, the third goal, you kill it, there's no way back. There was still time to play. All of that is about mentality.
First minute, Richarlison. So he goes off, celebrates.
Shows his tats.
Yeah, like gets his tats out, shirt off, gets booked. And you're like, right, okay, so he's wasted a minute. So you're going 92, 93 minutes into the... So they score in the 96. So it's almost like 2-3 minutes you can't see out.
No, but he's got good tats, though, Jay.
10 men.
Jay, good tats.
This is where Jamie's right. By the way, this is the funniest thing, though. Jamie the other day moaning Spurs don't get enough credit, and then that's what they go and do a few days later. That's why they're not getting the credit. The same as Arsenal not going to get as much criticism for dropping 2 points as Liverpool did for losing 4 on the bounce. Equally, Liverpool won't get anywhere near as much negative press as what Man United and Spurs have got in the last 12 months because they were champions last year. There is a pecking order. There is a hierarchy in this. There is credit in the bank, even on a contemporary sense. But he is right here, Jamie. That at the end from Tottenham. And I know a lot of football fans don't like mentality. We go through these weird periods, don't we, as football fans? Sometimes everything's about ability. Sometimes everything's about systems and managers. Sometimes it's about being a baller. And then sometimes it is and it isn't about mentality. And I just think it's a combination of all these things at all times. I just find it very interesting, don't you, when we decide to pick and choose when they're right or wrong. But let me know what you think, peeps.
Oh, gosh, rattled. Brian Bobby, top of the league.
Listen, I saw this clip. I don't know any more of them going around. Someone sent it to me. I hope Ty's okay. I've met Ty many occasions. Lovely bloke. I haven't seen this in a long time, and this just brings back beautiful, nostalgic memories of AFTV is still an amazing platform now, still one of the biggest and best, and of course one of the innovators in this space. So a lot of love and time for what they've done. But I do miss seeing Ty get into those scraps when he's getting wound up by the fans of teams that have taken points off him.
Oh, God, Ty. Rattled.
Brian Bobby.
Top of the league. And I hope no one got hurt or anything along those lines. If it did, then I apologize for sharing it. I haven't seen that. I searched it as best I could. Maybe I recalled this the night before this has come out. So maybe something changed. But yeah, listen, I get why he's rattled. He doesn't like being wound up about his club, especially Ty's one of these guys where it's, if you ain't won more than me, you haven't achieved more than me, don't chat about my football club, even if you take points off us, even if you beat us. But yeah, he was not a happy bunny there at all. But what do you all make of the Arsenal situation? What do you all make of it? Are people doing too much? Do you think there was a lot of, we obviously had a right mixed bag of emotions and debates on the Full Fan highlight show last night. But where are you at with it today? Of course, they're going to get some banter off rivals. There's no doubt. They conceded a last-minute goal. The defending wasn't particularly great yesterday. The first half was drab. There are areas to criticize. But they are still unbeaten. The winning streak ends, but what is it, 14 games without losing a game. They are still top of the league. The result later in the Liverpool City game, sorry, the result tomorrow in that game is going to maybe dictate a different conversation. They're still going to remain top. What do you all think? I'd love to get your opinions on that.
What did it feel like Arsenal should have really come away with all 3 points today?
I would say a fair result.
Really?
Yeah, you know why I would say that?
Why?
Oh, really? Yeah. Sorry, it made me laugh. Anyway, I'm going to stop mumbling and get back to the video.
And just come in the Premier League and they give us a very good game today. They never say die and they continue. And why I kind of say a fair result was sitting on the fence, I didn't like to go back 5. I did not like that because we were up. When you take off
90 minutes though.
Yeah,
he done it at 90 minutes.
I understand.
You normally Arsenal see out a game.
If you're taking off Eze there, and I'm not gunning down Mikel Arteta, don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
But when you do something that is not really correct, we can say. When you take off Eze, I would rather bring on Max Down, man, because he will draw forward, he will dribble. You understand? We were on top. We wasn't under pressure. So when you go down to and when you bring on Mascara, I believe that Calafrio going to come in the middle and Mascara going to go right. That's what I believe.
They went back 5.
And he went back. That's what I believe going to happen.
But 6 minutes left.
Yeah, but you
honestly,
see 6 minutes now will come under pressure and they smell blood and they went for it. You have to give Sunderland credit. This is a team just coming in the Premier League.
No, they were good today.
Liverpool didn't play us like that. Man City didn't play us like that. All of the teams that we expect to play us like that, they didn't.
It's a really good point. Sunderland have just come into the Prem with no fear, and that it's hard to handle. Big, physical, powerful, no doubt about it. Did Arteta make the right decision? Or ultimately, in this game, no, because they did concede. And I agree with one thing massively that I saw, and that was that they didn't defend the box well enough. That was long balls and direct balls into the box. And I felt in that last 6 minutes, Arsenal sat too deep. And what I mean by that is their midfield was too close to their defense, which meant Sunderland could approach the edge, got too close to the edge of their box. I felt they could have been and should have been a yard further forward. So Mascara coming on, maybe you bring him on and go to a back 5, but then maybe what you also do if you're going to sit in that way is you bring an Orgard onto the pitch and have a body in the midfield. You push a little bit higher. So that it's harder to put those balls into the box. It's harder to get them accurate. And there was a mistake there. The only thing I will say is that the only reason I'm not going, some people message me again, Terry, why aren't you going to go in on Arsenal like you do other teams? Well, when it was a draw, I've criticised it, but let's see if it happens again. Let's see what happens after it. I think it would be ridiculous right now to jump off, to go off the edge, rip into everything. To what ends? Do I think Arsenal are going to defend like that again in the next game, the game after? Probably not. Probably not, as things stand. Are they likely to continue to be unbeaten for a period of time? Yes, they're playing Spurs next. I think they're going to smash. I think they're playing Spurs next. I think they'll smash them. Do I think we're going to see them crumble and fall away? Not anytime soon. So therefore, I think you can criticize some decisions in games. I think you can criticize the end result. But I think it would be far too premature to be throwing baby out with the bathwater. That's my personal opinion. the team that's still unbeaten, a team that's still top of the league, a team whose defensive record the entire campaign is where it is. They actually scored 2 open play goals yesterday as well, which has gone under the radar. So people say, they don't. It's actually funny. The game they score the most open play goals in as a percentage in the league in the last 10 or 12 is the one game they don't win. There's an irony in that somewhere. But listen, I want your thoughts. I want your feelings on this. Please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. I'll see you soon.